Hey, what's up? It's Annika and welcome back to my channel. Literally, how is it the end of 2021? Excuse me? Like, we're going into 2022? What? Yeah, in this video, we're gonna talk about my 2021 financial recap and I guess go back and like see how I did on my 2021 goals. If you're new here, then welcome. I'm taking you along every step of the way on my journey to paying off over $229,000 in debt. We had a bit of a hiatus this year. I moved back to Florida from Oregon. I went home with my family basically for COVID, and granted, like, COVID's not over. It's just like, yeah, but I did move back to Florida. I do work for Disney remotely, and I have been wanting to become financially free for, oh my God, we're coming up on the 2-year mark. Hello! I started this journey in January of 2020 and got really serious about my finances, lined up all of my debts. I found Dave Ramsey, and while I don't agree with everything that he says and stands for, I did find his method of following the baby steps very helpful, and I used that as a guide to paying off debt. I saved my $1,000 emergency fund and I drained it and refilled it and drained it and refilled it again over my 2 years now of fighting off this debt. I had a lot of great momentum in 2020 and I was working multiple jobs and I was getting super serious. I paid off all my credit cards and set myself up for success, really, and I worked so hard to do that. And in 2021, there were good things and then there were also very bad things. So I'm gonna go through my 2021 financial goals with you and like let you know how I did on them. So my first one was to pay off my car, which I did. I paid my car off in February of 2021. That was a really big triumph for me. Like, that felt so good, and like it took 25 years, it felt like, to get my pink slip in the mail and like get my actual title and deal with all of that, and actually paid off. I had to make so many different phone calls. It was ridiculous, and it got lost. I had to request it from Florida DMV, and then I was in Oregon, and then it was just madness, but it finally came. And like, I think I cried actually when I sent my last payment to pay it off, and that was incredible. So that was a major win. My second goal was to switch from paying the snowball method, which is smallest to largest debts, to the avalanche, which is highest to lowest. And I can't remember if it's like highest balance or highest interest. I think actually it differs from like where you look it up, but I did switch to the avalanche method because my gigantic private student loan is ginormous. And I had over 170K left at the beginning of this year, and it just made more sense because the federal student loan interest was paused, was not making payments, stopped making payments towards that, and focused all my energy on my car at the time. And once I paid my car off, then I focused all my energy towards my private student loan. I did get a puppy. I got my puppy in March, my little baby Cinnamon, who's a beagle, and she is a little devil, but like also the light of my life. So that was a huge financial expense for me now, like having to get her spayed and like buy dog food, and like I spoil her. I buy her so many treats and bones. She's a super chewer. Like, she cost me so much this year, but we did pretty well on those first goals. So the next goal I had was to not get into any new debt. As we know, that didn't really work out, but I mean, it's come and gone. It is what it is. It was pretty much unavoidable, honestly, and it's already taken care of. So I don't really care that I didn't follow that goal. My next goal was like a super stretch goal. I wanted to get under 150K, and I don't know how I thought that was gonna be possible. At the end of 2020, my like balance of my total debt was $184,976.48. And I think because I was able to attack so much debt in 2020 and I was staying home doing nothing because of lockdowns and COVID, and I was working 24/7, that I like figured that I could keep that going, but it wasn't realistic. And I didn't factor in like burnout and all of these other things. So in 2020, I actually paid off over $44,000, which is kind of insane. I'm looking at this and I'm like, was that real? Like, but it is, like it really is. And as of right this second, in 2021, I paid off over $59,000, and like that's like not just in 21, that's including 2020. So what's that difference? Okay, this is kind of depressing, but in just 2021, the math says $14,528 from like the debt I paid off in just 2021. Is that real? That doesn't feel real, but now that I'm kind of depressed looking at that. But yeah, 2021 was definitely a spend year for me. I basically did not make any snowball payments from all the money that was going towards like credit cards. And again, in 2020, I was working like a fiend, and like every cent was going towards paying down my debts. And I think I definitely lost a lot of momentum this year, because now it's, again, I'm tackling my giant student loan, and it's very daunting and intimidating, and so much money goes towards interest. And in 2022, I'm actually gonna make more of a point to drastically like tackle that amount, because it's kind of ridiculous. And I did get like my yearly raise going, and I'm gonna be more particular about budgeting. And now that I'm like more settled in here, I can rein myself in a little bit. I don't plan on moving next year and having to deal with all of that cost. So, I mean, never say never, but I try and tell myself like I had a lot of side hustles happening in 2020. Like I was working my booty off, whereas this year it was more of like I had so much more life happening around me, and things were opening up again. And I did go on like quite a few trips, like safely, and like I am vaccinated. I got boosted a few weeks ago. I regularly take COVID tests if I've like been around people. So this was a really big spend year now that I look back on it. But another thing that I had for 2021 was to celebrate the small wins, and I definitely want to carry that into 2022. So another goal I had was to learn more about investing and all of that good stuff, but I really haven't this year. I think I'm going to probably carry that over to 2022 and take that a bit more seriously. I definitely unfollowed a lot of negativity in the year of 2021, and I myself like also went through a really big slump this year. And this year was almost like a throwaway year when it came to financial goals, truly. Like, I still made some progress, and I have to remind myself of that. Like, we're still taking steps forward, even though we had that little step backwards. But again, we're already back. We're already back. So yeah, that was kind of a recap over how I did on my 2021 goals. And I am basically 60K down from my original balance, which 60K in 2 years just doesn't feel as impressive as like 44K in 1 year when I first started this journey. But hey, balances, they're going down. So I think this is really just like lighting a fire under my booty to really get into gear for 2022 and make some rigorous changes and goals, and not send as much money to interest, because that sucks. So I will be doing another video to kind of go through goals I have for 2022. So make sure you subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.